Okay, so the last class, that's the Python class, we stopped at index, negative index. And I gave an example of what is meant by negative index. I mentioned we first talked about the positive index, and I moved down to negative index, and I show an example how you can apply negative index. And we saw a series of examples, in that aspect. Now, we're going to continue with that. And before we continue, I also talked about, let me go back to the material. So we talked about list and we focus on the index. Then I moved the negative index. Then this is where we stopped. So we're going to continue with the length. So I'd like to explain length, what we mean by length, and how to apply it. This part of this length is very, very important, very, very important when it comes to data transformation. It looks very small, as in it's like how are we going to apply this? If you see it, if you look at it, you see length data. So how do we apply this? It doesn't really make sense. But I can tell you it's very, very important when it comes to data transformation, and it helps you to identify if there is no data or if there is data. So for example, in our length, we can say we want to check the length of, so let me use this. Normally, if we're using Jupyter Notebook, I would have been able to generate like a file, but I can still generate a Python file here and send it across to everyone. That's if we're using Jupyter Notebook, it would have been more easier. But because we are focusing on the work environment, we want everyone to be familiar with how this thing works, when you are in the company. So that's why we're using IDE. It's very, very important. So here I can also still get this material across to you. I can zip it up and send it in form of file to you. I can do that after the class. So, so I will keep putting this thing together. Like I said the other time, control, then this sign will help you to comment these parts out. So now we have the length. Let's say, for example, we want to get the length of Okwe number. The length of Okwe number. I'm going to use this one for length now. Length of Okwe number. So let's say we want to get the length. So for length, let me copy this one here. So I want to get the length of this. So I can say print length. Then what's that? The length of, if you see, and you see how we have it here. Can you see? You pass it into the brackets and you do length. Okay. Can you see? One good thing about ID is that immediately you press the first one, it will identify that we have it somewhere and it's you can pick it up. So if we do print length Okwe number, I will comment this one out. So let's try our length now. Go here, run the IDE, and you see 8. What it means is that we have 8 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can get 8. So now let me explain how it's applicable to data when it comes to data transformation. Imagine you have let's say we want to read a CSV file. Let me see if I can have a CSV file here. I think the last time let me see if I have a CSV file. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I will try and see along the way if I can get, okay, this one, let me copy it. Okay, so now I'll paste it here. So I can copy file and go here, click on the path, then paste it. So I can paste this data here. So can you see CSV? I can move it as test file. Yeah, test file, main journey. So it's asking for which type of file, but it's CSV, so it's going to pick it as a test file. Can you see our file now? So here we can open our CSV file. This is the CSV. This is what we have inside the CSV. So this particular CSV, when we are looping through the columns, you can check the length. Look at this CSV now. Let's say when we get to that stage, I will show you how it works. Look at this CSV. It's got columns, and these columns, the first one is dates. The next one is like a short form of maybe a city. Let's say North Korea, NK. I'm just assuming. Then we have numbers. So that means this particular file has got a name. It will have another name, like that, like that. So if I try to open, okay, good. We gave this one, I gave this one as example the last time. So I gave it date, city, this. So what this is going to do is that we can look through this column and check the length. So, and in Python, or let me say in Python, when it comes to data transformation aspect of Python, when you are looping, you use, let's say the name of the file is 2015. Let's say we've collected the file, we've gotten the file. We just use the have.columns. So we can get the length of this file. So we can loop through, like the looping. We get to that stage, but I'm just giving you an example how it works. Sometimes can be might be asking the question in our brain, like, okay, how do I apply this? So we'll be able to loop through this particular file, these columns. If the column is empty, it will return empty. So in some cases, you see your length in let's say in Python, when you're writing your code, you see, sometimes you see your length is, you want to check if the length is equal to, if it's greater than 0. So
hello, sir.
hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut in, sir. Is this the same thing like when you're in SQL and you want to change the length of characters within a cell? You know, in SQL you could use the len also, just to find out, okay, within the cell, take for instance, you want to check if the data inputted for what do you call it, phone number for a certain record is correct, and you run the len in SQL. Is this the as that?
Yes, it's the same, because you can use it to collect a length of, like, if you apply length to this one, you can use it to count all the numbers. You understand? The number of time it appears. If I do, let's say I just use normal Bola now. Bola, if I do length on Bola, I'm trying to count the number of alphabets that makes Bola, and we can see it's 4. So it's going to give us 4. So you are counting. So length is like you are counting through. You're counting. But you know, maybe Uncle, you can come in that area.
I'm just waiting for you to complete before I come in. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. So in Python transformation.
The length thing, which way?
The sorry, length quick one.
Okay.
Sorry, I think the last speaker was trying to talk about the character limitations. So for like, is this schema when you're creating a table, you specify the length. I think that's what they
okay. No, what you normally, when you are creating a table in SQL, you're not counting the number of the length really. What it is that though you see the word or the numbers, they are not actually stored as 1, 2, 3. They are stored in bytes. which is 1 and 0. Okay, so when you are specifying in SQL, say for example, I say customer name, and I say end voucher 50. It's not that it's it's 50, but then the storage in SQL is actually in bytes. Okay, so each one of the character is a byte, but then when it's stored, it is not stored in that way. So it's a bit different from what you see in Python here. When you use len in SQL, you're counting the number of characters in a word or in a row. Okay, and you don't extend the number of the length of a word or something in of a column in SQL. You count it, and then you can, when you are creating a query, you can reduce. Say for example, I have Okpe Yemi, right? And I don't want to display Okpe Yemi. I just want to display Okpe. I can now say for the column name, I'll say len in bracket that, and then comma the number of characters I want. So I want 3, which is OPE, and then put 3, and then so when it executes, it's going to return back to me Okpe rather than Okpeyemi. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Right.
In the aspect of Python, like for Spark, you use something called substring. So substring can help you to extract like 2, maybe you want to extract like 3 characters. It helps you to do that. But my understanding about len when it comes to Python is you use it to grab to count. It looks like you're counting what we have in something. You know, for example, you see we have here now, we have in open list. In open list, we have element, the first element, second element, third element, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. There are 8. So, for example, with this length, we'll be able to print what we have in open there. So, we'll be able to print it, and it's going to give us 8. For example, let's say along the way, we decide to remove SOM. We can monitor if there's any changes there. If I run this one, it's going to give us what? Okay, I think because I didn't save it. If I run this one now, let me see, open number. No, okay, open list, under open list. Sorry, open list, that's the reason. I will do it again, open list. So open list now, let me put this one SOM back so that we can see what I was trying to explain. So we have open list, we have SOM 8. So if I take this SOM out now, let's do our counting again. If you do that, let's check it. It's going to give us 7. So it's counting what we have inside. So now we can do the same thing for open number too. The same is going to give us the same results. Open number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8. If I delete this 5 from the that and run it again, you should be able to get 7. So it's counting what we have in the list. For example, if this list is empty, let's delete it. Let's see what's going to happen. 0. Can you see? So in Python, sometimes, most of the time, when we want to check if a data exists, what we want to do is that, we want to try and debug, we want to try and troubleshoot if our architecture or service, the application we are developing is going to fail. We want to see when it fails so that we can be able to track all those changes, the failure, and look at how to fix it. Imagine you have built a very big architecture, a product, and you didn't put any troubleshooting stuff, as in to monitor if there is any failure for your clients. At the end of the day, you keep having errors, and you have to be figuring out where the error is coming from. You understand? Let's say, for example, we have this CSV file. In this CSV file, let's forget about this transformation. Let's say this file is coming like this. Normally, we're expecting this CSV file, just like an example that I showed here. Let's say this CSV file, when we are expecting it, instead of us to read it, it comes as empty. using this kind of len, like I explained, will help you to check as this file is coming, you pass in this length before it, and you check if the length is greater than maybe 0. Not that maybe is, you check if it's greater than 0. So if your length is greater than 0, it means we have data inside that file. If length is greater than 0, that means while you are reading, in this case now, look at this, our length is greater than is 0, right? You see it's going to give us something. Let's say if length is greater than 0, print I have, let's say I have Okpe's number. Now in this case, we expect the result to be what? To be 0, but we're expecting something greater than 0, and anything greater than 0 should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. It's not including 0. So if I run this code now, this particular code now, you see it's not going to give me, it's not going to print up where. You see, it's not printing up where, because from here it shows that it's not, is less than, is 0, not greater than 0. Okay, let me pass in, let's say now the Okpe number now that I have here. Let me pass in this value here. You will see it's going to give me results. Now let me pass this one in. Let's see. Now let's run this. Can you see? Before it didn't give me anything, but because it's looping through this Okpe, what we have here, is checking if it's greater than 0. And we can see here we have 8 elements. That means it's greater than 0. That means 8 is greater than 0. Because it's going to check this length. And this length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means this 8 is greater than 0. And if it's greater than 0, you should print this. Else, we can now put else statements. You know, can just put else if this else. So we always have a condition. So this is how you apply Python to check through your data, to check if what you are getting is this. So in case if it's 1 now, let's see what's going to happen. So if this is this 1, let's see the results. Can you see it's still going to print Okpe's number because we have one element. If it's 2, it's going to print it. If I add 2 now, it's going to print it. Can you see? I have Okpe's number. But if I remove it completely, you see, we're not going to get anything because we have put that condition that if the length is greater than 0. Can you see? Empty. And this is how to check the failure of the system, and you'll be able to troubleshoot. And you write a code to generate error, and that error can be sent to a particular file, maybe error file in your S3 buckets, so that anytime you can check where you are getting error from, and you'll be able to troubleshoot and fix the problem. So that is an example of how to write, how to use length. So I just showed you that one with a Python code. So I will go back to our normal prints. Okay. All right, let me leave it that way because it's still part of it. So let's go on. So we've touched length, and I've shown you an example of length. So this is also similar to what we've done already. I don't want to complicate things, but here you will see that we have data n-1. It's still focusing on what we are doing here when we are talking about positive index. So it's considering the last element. When it counts the last element, okay, you see this length now. Length is counting the last element -1. So here, what we have here is, let me comment this out. What that is explaining is talking about, let's say, for example, we have 2, 3. It's saying you check the length of get the value. Let's say, for example, we have n equals to length. That means we are counting this, and we already know it's 3. So already it's 3. Then we can now say that we want to check, let's say, print Okwe. We want to print Okwe number equals to n minus, let's say, minus 1 or minus 2. I will give an example. The meaning is that it's checking the elements. We already know we have, how many elements do we have? 3 elements. So that means our length is going to be equals to 3 here in this case. So n equals to 3. If we run it, we can see the result. And if n equals to 3, I will show you the results. Let me comment this one out. Let's run this. Open number n equals to, can you see n equals to, okay, let me print it, sorry. Print n. Now let's print our n. Can you see n equals to 3 here? So if our n equals to 3, then we can now do this one. We can now do that, okay, passing our n here. So that means in this case, it's going to print, it's printing for us. I will tell you the result here. It's printing open number of, if n equals to 3, open number of 1. And what element is it going to pick? It's going to look for index what? Index. Can someone say that? Can someone identify what is happening there?
Index 1.
It's going to pick index 1. It's not going to pick 0. So now let's see. Let's run it because I've already added -2 here. So 3 minus 2 is going to give us 1. So this is going to be the result. And index 1 is what? Is 2.
2.
Good. So let's see the result if it is equal to what we're expecting. Let me run it now. Can you see? 2. We pass in n, this n equals to 3. That means 3 minus 2 equals to 1. So upper number 1, which is this. You remember I told you index is 0, 1, 2. So this stands for index 1. Index 0, index 1, index 2. So if this one is index 1, it's going to give us this result. Does that make sense? Or do you have any question? Any question regarding that?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
You said n equal to len, open bracket, open underscore number. Okay. Now, can you also do print n minus 2 without putting the open underscore number?
Print n minus 2. Print n minus 2. Let's try it. But you know, the focus here, yeah, it should be able to work. Let's see, because it's let's see what's happening. So n minus 2, because already we know the n value of n, which is 3. So let's see. So it's going to give us 1. And however, automatically what is happening here is that when this result gives us 1, okay, I'm coming. N minus 2. Okay, it's fine. It's still going to give us the same result. Let's print it. Can you see? 3 minus 2 is what? 1. Is that clear now? Because
yes.
our n is 3.
Mm-hmm.
N is 3. So if you put 3 here, 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. So that's the answer. Remember, it's still the same thing that we are passing in here. So it's still going to grab 1 index. And which means we are grabbing upper 1. Still the same thing, which is index 1. And the result is 2. So we are grabbing the second element, which is index 1. Is that clear? Or do we have any question around that? Maybe it's not clear, or does it look like? Any question? No? Okay, let me go. Someone wants to say something. Hello.
Yeah, can we try it on a real data, not the 1, 2, 3 that we've done? Like you have a CSV file, and we try it on that CSV value just to see how it works in a real scenario.
No, I don't want to complicate things for you now, because if we want to check with CSV file, I will need to write a code in Pandas or in Spark, but we have not gotten to that. But we have to understand the concept of the way we are going to be, reading the file, what we are going to do. This is everything you are going to do in Python. They are all connected to this pattern. So we have to understand the basic concepts, like the building blocks. We have to understand that before we jump to the main part, reading the file. So in the aspect of reading the file, that's where we're going to be applying our pandas, and we're going to apply Python. Then you see an example. Now you'll now be able to record that, okay, oh, this is the reason why we did this. You understand better. But you have to understand the main concepts here before we start dealing with the data. When it gets to that time, I will show you. So now let's go on. So we've seen length, how to apply length, and I've shown you an example, how you apply it in Python using this particular statement. If this is like a conditional statement. You see example of a conditional statement along the line. You see how, and you understand why we need it. They're very, very important. So let's go on. We have slicing. Oh, okay. Did I touch slicing the last time? No? I didn't touch it. Okay. So we'll now go to slicing. What slicing does is, like, if you have elements in a list, we want to check where it starts and where it ends. And also we can skip some steps. For example, we have, let's say we have this now. I will refer back to Okwe list. Okwe list. Let me print Okwe list so that we can keep seeing the results. Okwe list. I use Okwe number here, so we're going to focus on slicing now. We have slicing. So slicing, for example, I have Okwe list. Let me print Okwe list. Already we know what is inside Okwe list. We have print Okwe list so that you can see the results. So we have print Okwe list. If I print Okwe list now, you see these are Okwe. Let me comment this out so that it won't mix things up. And do that later and send the file to you. So print Okwe list. Our Okwe list is here. Bola, Damilola, Lee, Catherine, this and that. So this is our list. But in this our list, if we want, we can decide to grab what we have the first on the list using index and determine where we want to end it. So here we can decide to say, okay, we want to grab Bola and we want to grab it up to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So we want to grab it up to this. So let's pass in 6. So can you see? So we want to grab this. Let me go back and do it again. Oh, sorry, let me do it this way. I'll copy this, then go back, then show what we want, so that you can see the difference. Now we have a playlist. This is the whole list, what we have in the list up to Ola. So in our slicing, from the example here, you will see slicing is saying list, begin, end, and step. So we have begin, we have our list, begin, end, and step. So this is what this one is doing, is that it's checking from what we have here. You see list, begin, end, and step. So it's checking what's the first index, or is not compulsory first index, depending on what we want to grab. What's the index that we want to begin with? What's the index that we want to begin with? What's the index? That is what this one is saying. Where do we want to end it? And what steps? Steps is like you have a staircase. You see, you move from the first step, second step, third step, fourth step. So, but we can also skip. Let's say you want to jump one step and move to the next one, or 2 steps. You can decide to do that in your house. You can just jump, put your leg on the other, the third step, fifth step, seventh step by jumping 2. So, for example, we have, when it comes to step can be, for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can decide to do 2 steps. 2 steps. 2 steps is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And now that's the concept of steps. So So 2 steps in this case means this 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If I do 3 steps means, let's say, for example, we have 3 steps. 3 steps means we're doing 1, 4, 7. And what's the last one? Can you see that's the last one? 1, 4, 7, 3 steps. So you are jumping 3 numbers. So to get to that. So when it comes to begin is just like you are getting, depending on the index you want. Let's say I want to begin with index 0, index 1. End is where you want the number to appear, to get to the list. So, for example, if you want to apply end now, I will show you an example here. So I will comment this one out. I'm just giving as an example so that you understand the concept of steps. Let's say, for example, I want to start with, so can you see the begin now? So I'm passing it on in upper list now, inside upper list. I want to begin with index 1. That's the second element. Already we know this is the second element, Damilola, which is index 1. I want it to end at index, to end at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I want to end here. One thing about when you are using slicing is that when you pass in 6, it's not going to grab index 6 for you. It's going to grab the index before 6. You will see an example. So anytime you want to create a new list from a list that existing list, you can use this. So let's say we want to create a new list now, which is upper list 1 to 6. So we are grabbing index 1 from Damilola to index, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 6. So 6 means we are grabbing to Jerry. You see the answer. Remember I said it's not going to include Ola. That's why we have added 6. So it's going to stop at Jerry. It's in between. But one thing is that it's going to go with the first index, which is the index 1, and the index we are selecting, which is the begin. That's 1. But when it comes to end, it's not going to get the last Ola, which is 6. If you see in this case, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when you are using this, it's going to stop here. It's going to stop here. So let's run it and see our results. So let me comment this one out. That's why we're getting. Anytime you see, if there is any error in your code, you start seeing this red. Can you see this red? This red helps you to trace where the problem is, and it's being enlightened. So when you are running your code, it's going to give us error. Let me run this one now. You see, it's going to throw us error. Can you see? Because this is not a right Python code. It's just a statement. So we can comment the statement out. When we run it again, then we get our result. Can you see now? So it's stopping at Jerry. So it's grabbing from, because we've mentioned that it should begin from first index, which is the second element, and end at what's it called? The what's the element? That's at Jerry, which is the sixth element. Is it 6? Yeah, 6 elements. So, but don't forget our index Hello?
Fifth element, right?
Hello?
Jerry, is
Hello,
Jerry
sir.
the fifth element or the sixth?
It's a sixth element, but I just want to confirm this is just similar to SQL again. You know, in SQL we you could do select star from whichever data you want, and it will grab everything within the data and show it to you. But the other way around will be for you to list out all the elements you want, all the columns you want within the record. But this time around in Python, you use slicing to indicate exactly what you want to bring out from the record.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, in Python, you use it to indicate what you want to get from the record itself. And that's what we're trying to do. That's why if you see here, I focus on begin, end, and step. So begin is what's the index you are interested in? The index you are interested in. End, where do you want to end it? And where you are ending it is not going to grab it as the elements. It's not going to be selected. Just remember in Python, it's not going to be selected. Then the step, we have not applied step now. So we are starting with end, these two. So we're doing begin and end. In this case, this begin, column, and end. So, and that's why we are able to get Damilola, Lee, Catherine, Okpe, Jerry. If I change this one to 5 now, you see it's not going to grab Jerry anymore. It's going to grab Okpe, only this. So if we run it, you see, can you see Okpe? If I reduce it further, 4. 4 means, in the case of Okpe, Okpe is index 4. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I put 4, it's not going to grab Okpe despite its index 4 here. It's going to start with a stop at Catherine. And if you run this one now, you see the result as Catherine. That's Python. That's how Python works. So that's the aspect of index. So in this index also, we can do steps. For example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 elements. I can decide to now if I use 8 here, 7 here, 7 means I'm grabbing up to this last one. And then I can now put my step. If I do step 2 now, you will see, or let me say I'm putting 0 here. Let me start with 0, just to start from beginning. So it's going to check this one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, or 7. Let's see the main one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 elements, which is gets to index 6. Now, in this case, we are grabbing up to the last element. Up to the last element, that's index. I'm coming 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we're going to pass 6. So now, but despite we are passing 6, it's not going to get, let me take this off. Then you get what I'm saying. Let me run this so that you can see the result. It's not going to get, can you see, it's skipping Ola because I'm mentioning only index 6. If I put 7 now, it's going to include Ola there. Can you see? So 0 to index 7 is similar to when we just pick Okpe list only. So now, in this case, I want to do slicing now.
Hello, sir. Please, a quick question.
Okay.
The reason why it's not picking, let's say you are saying from 1 to 5, and it won't pick the 5 item, is because the formula is n minus 1, or because the counting starts from 0.
I won't say that, no. There is a difference between n minus 1. Already we've done the n minus 1 in our brain. Remember, we've done it here by saying 0, 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But
Yes.
in the normal n-1, this one is 7, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you're applying when we mention only elements, the element here is 7 elements, but the last index is index 6. Remember, we've already taken -1 out.
Yes.
So it means if we are counting it, it means if we want to understand n-1, we are just trying to say elements, the last elements, count of elements, you understand? -1. That means we are counting what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you getting it? Which is
Yes.
equivalent to 7 minus 1. And this is index, which is 6. So the last index is 6. Does that make sense? So, but in this case, we are using index. We are using the index itself without considering -1. We've already done that in our brain. But in Python, when you are using slicing with begin and end, it won't pick the index. When it gets to end, it won't pick the index you are indicating here. It's going to pick index before it. It's just like, for example, in mathematics, if they tell you between let's say 2 is greater than s. Sorry, there's a noise somewhere, please. If you don't mind, can you mute? Okay, so 2 is greater than x and is greater than 20. In this case, you will see that 2 is not going to be included because we've already said 2 is greater than x. 2 is less than x. 2 is less than x. That means any number that is x must be greater than 2. That means 3 is included, like that, up to, and remember, and it's saying, let's say x is less than 20. So if I put x is less than 20, 20 is not included. It's going to stop at 19. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But in case we say equal to, and we put equal to here, that's when we see 2 is not going to be included and 20 is going to be included because we've added equal. That means it can be less than or equal to x, and also less than or equal to 20. So in this case, it's taking what is below it. Is it making sense? Please, if you have any question, there is no foolish question, like I said, ask again.
And if we are commenting, are we just going to highlight alone, or is there any other?
When you are commenting in your IDE, you highlight. When you highlight like this, you use control. I think I mentioned the other time, you use control, not plus. You just press control and you press this on your system. And the control is, sorry, for those that are not familiar with it, I know you're familiar because you can see it. See, in your window, you have CTRL. So control this. Then you'll be able to, you highlight like this and you press this control and you'll be able to get this sign. And the reason why you need this sign is that it won't run it as a code. It will see it as a comment, like a statement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's continue. So now I've explained the end. So we want to apply slice now. So in our slice, let's say I want to slice by, I want to do step by 2. Step by 2 means it's going to jump 1 element. And let's see how it works. Let's run it. Can you see? It's skipping Bola because I've already mentioned step 2. I mentioned the other time I talked about step. So it's going to Bola, Li, Okwe, and Ola. It's going to do 2 steps. 2 steps. It's going to jump from here, from Bola to Li, from Li to Okwe, from Okwe to what? Ola. Assuming that I change this one to 6, you see what's going to happen. 6 means here already, I'm excluding. Let me show you the results. Let's run again. I'm excluding Ola. Before I added Ola. So I'm excluding Ola. So if I exclude Ola already, then I'll put step 2, then take the step. So in this case, we should be getting Bola, Li, Okwe. It will include Ola. Bola, Li, Okay. So let me run it down. Bola, Li, okay. Can you see the results? So this is how it works. That's how to apply a slicing. So we now understand how to begin, how to end, and how to apply steps. And when it comes to this end, remember, it's not going to grab the elements for that particular index that you have mentioned. So in this case, we have mentioned index 6 is not going to grab index 6. It's going to grab data before index 6. That's why I mentioned that in between 0 and this. But in the issue of Python, it's going to grab the first one. You know, I mentioned greater than or equal to. So in Python, it's like you have 1 second. I want to add something. So in Python, is like we have, remember this. So in Python, is like, in this case of Python, is like we are grabbing 2 is greater than or equal to X and less than. Does that make sense? We are including our first letter, the first element, but we are not including 20. In this case, that's the meaning of this. So here is like we're saying 0, we're grabbing 0. At the same time, we are saying 7. So in this case, it's going to grab anything between from 0, 1, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, up to index 6, but it's not going to include index 7. Does that make sense? Hope I'm not making it complicated. Okay, so I will assume that we understand that part. Please, but if you have any question, please feel free to ask again. So I'm going to go back to our okay, so now we understand that concept of using slicing. Now we understand that concept now. So I've explained that. Let's go on. Let's go on. So we now understand begin is an integer representing the starting index. This end is an integer that is 1 larger than the index of the last element. Can you see in a subsequent of the list? Step is an integer that specifies the stride size through the list. So we've done that, and we can see an example. Let me show you an example. You see the lines in here. We have list. We have, let's say this is our list. We want to grab using slicing. We want to grab the first index. Remember, I told you when you are choosing the index 3. Index 3. For index 3 now, look at this index 3. In this case now, there is one thing I want to mention. When you are passing only this sign, it's going to grab everything inside. This sign is going to grab everything inside. If you are now here we have, like we have the other time, we have begin, end, and step. Begin is what? Start from index 0, which is 10, end at index 3, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, end here. But if it ends here, it's going to grab only here. You know, I mentioned that. So now we are saying take a step. There's no step because we are not skipping anything. So it's going to be 10, 20, 30, and that's where we have this result. So index, we have begin with 4. Index 4, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 50. Can you see the 50? Then end at 8. Index 8. You remember I said it's not going to grab index 8. Let's see. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you see 8 is 90, but it's not going to include 90. It's going to take the index before it, which is 80. And that's where we have this. So 50. 4 index 4 represents 50, and after any number, any index that we have is going to grab it, then 80, which is index before 8. The same thing applies to index 2 to 5. Index 2 to 5, grab 0, 1, 2. That's 30, isn't it? And we can see 30 here. And stop at index, end at index 5. That means grab the index, stop at index before 5. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we are stopping an index before 5, that's 50. And that's why we have 50 here. Is that clear?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Now, remember negative index. Negative index is saying here now that I told you negative index starts from -1 at the back. So let's say this -5 now, let's count it: -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. That means grab in this index, which is 80. And where is it? Can you see 80 here? And here, end at -3, -1, -2, -3. And what it's going to do is going to take number before that index, which is what? 90. It's the same thing. So in -5 here, -5 index, that's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, which is 80, is the same thing as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -5 in this case is same as writing 7 here, if you don't want to use negative index. So -3 is equivalent to using 9. That means we can pass in 7 column 9 here, and we're still going to get the same results. So now, here, when you see this column before, means grab anything from the beginning of the index 0, and stop at index 3. And index 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3. But take the number before it. That's 30. Can you say 30? While you are stopping at index 3, you don't pick the number index 3, you pick the number before it. So here it's saying anything after index 4, pick it. Don't stop. Let's see. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is 50. Can you see? 50 downward. So when you see this column, it's saying pick everything there. Pick everything there. So we've seen series of examples here. Here we've seen index from index 4 to 100. But in this case, we don't have 100. So it's going to grab everything after. Because here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So, but anything after that is going to grab it. So we have seen example here. We've seen this one is saying index 2 from index 2 to index -2. And it makes sense. You understand it. So we are grabbing index 2, that's 0, 0, 1, 2. That's 30. Can you see the 30 here? Stopping at -2. We count -2 from the back. That's -1, -2. Stop here and take 2 steps. So if it's stopping at -2, it's not going to grab 110. It's going to stop at 100 and it's going to skip. So it's going to stop at 100 now. So let's count it from here. We have 30. That means 30, 30, 50, 70, 90, and we're not going to grab 100 because we are stopping here. So and that's where we have this. So that's how it works. And you can see here also it's saying begin, column begin from beginning, end up to the end. That means stop at the end. So this end and take 2 steps. So that means we are still grabbing everything that we have there. So the statement, this dot statement is still equivalent as using this. But when we now apply to, it's going to skip what we have inside. So dot statement is equivalent to what we are doing, what we apply as this. So we can count it. If you see, we have 2 steps. That's we grabbing 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 110. Can you see? It's the same thing. But we are applying this column in order to signify, apply our slice. So dot, these 2 dots is equivalent to using this. But because we want to apply slice, we still add this dot in front so that we can follow the method here as specified. So now that's slicing. Then we have range. We have let's say we want to grab a range of a number. Already we are familiar with range. A range is between a particular number, that is being given. So we want to grab range 20, range this, so we can, or do that. And we can see an example here. Let's say we have, so let me comment this out also, because I don't want it to be appearing. So let's say we have our range. So let's say A equals to list, then we have range. And our range is, let's say range 5. So let me say, so I can print A. Print A. So if I print A, let's see the result. Can you see the range? So our range, so our range is, when it comes to range, I'm coming, let me just do something. Let me see if I can. So can you see? Range is 0 to 5. So in the issue of range, it's going to count everything that we have here from 0. So when you pass in 5, it's going to count, get value between 0 and 5. So if you pass in 6, it's going to grab value between 0 and 6. If I pass in 10 now, we can get value from 0 to 10. So, but don't forget, it's not going to include 10, because range pattern is like counting with index. You know, normally, if we are doing our number, we'd always do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In Python, it starts from 0. So when we are doing a range, it starts from 0 and ends at 9. That means it's saying 0. So the range is 0. So if I print, if I list, give the result of the range now, you see it's going to give us, okay, good. Now let me pass in 10 now. No, I specified it. Let's run it. It's going to give us 0 to 9. Can you see? That means it's saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it's starting from 0. So it's starting from 0 to 9. It's still 10 elements, but it's going to start from 0. So range 10 already is 10, but it starts from 0, 0 to 9. So if I put range 11 here, it starts from 0 to 10. Let's run it. 10. It's still 11 elements. We have elements here. We have elements in the list as 11, but it starts from 0. So, and this will help you to be able to select a particular index. Let's say you want to list the index. So that will help you, because here you can apply this one as what you need inside when we want to grab a list. Can pass in 0 here, 1 here, because it's starting the way we have it in the pattern of index, what we are expecting. So it's really, really applicable when it comes to data. And when it comes to data transformation in Pandas and in Spark, you use this a lot, especially for transposing of data. For example, I mentioned transposing of data here. Remember, I think the first class, I mentioned transposing this data from this column, source code, where is it? Source code, and I said we are changing it to this, like this, to have a new. So most of the time we apply this kind of pattern, this range to select wherever we need. Along the line, I will show you an example, but I want you to just have it in your memory that, okay, this is this thing. I want to know how we can apply it. So let's go on. So we have range, and let's say we want to delete something within what we have set between the index. For example, here we want to delete from index 5 to 15. So it's not going to include 15, like I said. So let's say in this range now, I want to delete this. Let's say our results. So let's say we want to delete A from index, let's say index 0, 1, 2. So index 2 to index 3. So I can do print A again. So if I print A again, remember something has happened here. If I do print at the bottom, it's going to show me different result, because we have used this one to alter we have used this one to alter what we are expecting, and it's going to give me different result at the bottom. Can you see? Can you see what I've done? So I've said, okay, let me delete anything from index 2. From index 2, that's 0, 1, 2, yeah, to 3. 3. So it's going to go to 3. But remember, it's not going to delete 3. So if I change this one to 4 now, it's going to delete that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to delete 2 and 3 here. In this case, let's see. Can you see? 2 and 3 is gone because we specify that it should delete index 2 and anything before index 4. Anything before index 4. So if I choose 5 now, I say delete index 2 and anything between up to anything before index 5. So if I run it now, you see. So let's say, for example, I say, okay, 10. Delete from 2 to 10. If I say delete from 2 to 10, that means delete anything between from 2, index 2, which is this, up to index 10. What's our index 10? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it should delete anything up to this, but don't delete the 10, anything before it. So we're going to be left with what value now? Let's see the value we have from index 2. So we have 0, 1, and 10. So let's see our results. Can you see 0, 1, and 10? Any question? Okay, no question. Let's continue. So that's index. So now you understand the concepts. So now let's say, for example, we want to delete like two elements differently from what we have here. Let's say, for example, I want to delete 2 and I want to delete 3. I want somebody to tell me what the answer would be. Delete 5. Yes. Can someone tell me the answer in this case? I'll be typing it. If we print A, what do you think the answer will be? If we delete this, I will now delete this also.
0.
Okay. Okay. The answer is what?
0, 1.
Okay. 0, 1.
1, 3.
3. What else?
4.
Okay. 4.
6.
6.
7.
7.
8, 9, 10.
8. 9.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay. So we want to compare the results if we are right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if is that Bola?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Bola. So let's see if Bola is right. Let's see the answer. So we have 0, 1, 3, 4, 5. Bola, you missed it. I will tell you the reason why you missed it. I know.
Wait.
Okay.
It's 5. I didn't put the 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay. So the reason is, remember, we are deleting elements. The first element. When we do that, this is what is going to happen. It's like this result, we first do delete A, 2, and it will go again. And we are going to get, if we delete A2 now, elements index 2, we are going to get this result. Look at the results. We should be getting, if you are deleting 2, index 2, that we should be getting 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. This is our result. Now, this result, you have to go further, then apply A5 on this result. So that means we have gotten from A2, we have gotten a new list. So here in the new list, we want to delete index 5. Remember, this is now, the positioning is different now. After deleting, applying 2, when we have deleted 2 here and 2 is gone, 0, 1, 2, 2 is gone from here. Now, then we have a new list which starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this case, what's the index 5? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6. So 6 is going. And that's why you didn't see 6 here. So our new one is going to be this. Does that make sense? So that's how it works, because we first apply A2. This function is going to apply this A2 before going to A5. When it's done with A2, it's going to create a new list. In this list, something has changed. They will now check the new position of index 5. 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 6. And 6 is what we want to delete. And that's why we have this. And that's how we are able to get these results. Is that clear? So can you see it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
Yes,
so,
yes.
So
that means that you first of all apply the delete index 2.
Yes.
You'll create a new list before you then apply the second part.
The second part, thank you. So that's how it works. So that's an example. So let's go on with what we're doing. So we've seen that one. So we have list method, we have counts. It returns the number of times a given number element appears. So if you see, count looks a bit similar to when you are using length. You see, so it's similar to that. We have, it's not similar, I won't say similar, but they look a bit similar. We have insert. Let's say you want to insert new element to a list, you can use insert. Append. Append means you want to, in that particular list, you want to add another element inside it. Not that you are deleting, you want to add, you want to modify, you want to join, maybe put another one. So mostly appending helps you to add. Let's say, for example, in a basket, you have a basket of fruit. You always have orange in your house, orange and maybe apple. And you, like, next time you're like, okay, I don't want orange and apple only. I want to be having banana. And when I'm loading the basket with banana, I also want to be loading with apple. So any other apple you buy, you keep putting it in the basket. So you are appending, you are putting more, you are adding. So you are adding the new one, new fruit inside the basket of that of fruit that you already have. So we have index, we have remove. You want to remove something from list. We have reverse. Reverse is like you want to start, instead of starting from beginning, you want to start from the end, or you want to reverse what we have in the list. So we see an example. We have sort. We have sort elements in ascending order. We are familiar with alphabet A, B, C, D. Let's say you want to sort everything the way it should be from alphabetical order or in numeric order, like 1, 2, 3. So it helps you to do that. And that is very good when it comes to record. When you are dealing with some record, let's say in a column, you want to sort it by name, maybe Ade. So the next one will be Bayo, or maybe the next one will be Badmos. You want to do it like that in ascending order, or depending if it's descending order, you can do that. So you use sort. And here you see an example of counts now. So these counts, we want to see in this particular list, we want to check the number of times apple appears. We can see apple in this list now. Apple is appearing twice. Apple, apple. So we call the name of the list and we put dot count and we pass in the element that we are interested in. And it's going to count it for us. So now, for example, we can say, let me show you an example here. Let's say for count, I'll go to count now.
Sir, can we use count to count everything in the list?
You know, instead of using count, you use len. Remember, I showed you lengths, everything in the list.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's
Yeah,
the difference between
that
lean and count.
exactly, yes. So in the area of count, we want to count a particular element in the list, in this case. So in our case, let's say we go back, let's refer back to Okpe list. So I like to use this list. Let's say in this list, we have Okpe list. So if we print Okpe list, please, if you have any question again, please feel free to ask. I want you to understand this concept, this part very well, because it's very, very important so that it won't look confusing along the line. So we have open list. Sorry, let me highlight this. The reason is I don't want it to show all the result again because we are doing new one. Okay, so this is our list. This is our list, open list. Open list. Then let's say we have this list. Now I want to alter this list. Let me say I want to repeat Damilola maybe 3 times. Damilola 3 times. And repeat Catherine 2 times. So now if you see here, can you see I've increased the list? So inside this list, so I want to do count now. Let me say I want to count how many times Okpe is appearing. Is Damilola. Let's say Damilola. Okay, let's list it now. Let's see our result. Can you see 3 times? So here, let me show you. I want to show you what we have before doing this one. So I'll print the 2 so that we understand what is happening. Can you see? So our list is Bola this. So we want to know how many times Damilola is appearing. Damilola is appearing 1, 2, and 3. So that's Damilola. So let's say Catherine now. Let's pass in Catherine here. Catherine, passing Catherine. Let's run this. Catherine is appearing how many times? Is it 3 times also? 3 times. So now we got 3 times. So for example, if I remove Catherine from here and we run this, can you see it's going to change to 2 times? So use it to count the element, how many times a particular element appears in your list. So that's how it works, and we can see that one. So we have an example of index also. We want to know the index of banana. We want to know particular index of banana. So in this case, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Index 3, we want to grab it. Or we can also specify if we don't want, we need index after a particular index. So let's say we have index. So let me copy this. I don't want to be copying because I like everyone to be typing. When you start typing, when it comes to coding, you get used to it and you feel more relaxed. So I will do open list dot index. Can you see it's showing everything? So index Catherine. Let's see what we're going to do. So print this. Can you see it's saying index 3? So what it's doing is that in this case, remember this is count. So let me highlight the count so that we won't see any results. So it's trying to check the index 0, 1, 2, 3. Can you see? Okpe is in the Catherine is index 3. So let's say, for example, I want to grab any other Catherine after index 3. So I can pass in, let's say, after index 4. So it's saying Catherine is at 9, index 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you see? So here we are looking for any other Catherine apart from the one in the index we've checked. after 4. Let me put 3 here. If it's going to include 3, can you see? It's still include because I've added 3 here. I've said, okay, start from index 3. So, but it can find Catherine there. So it's going to pick index 3. So if I change this one index 4 or 5, it's going to look for any if we have any other Catherine after index 5. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to start from here. So from here, and we check. After check it, we skip this one because we've already said 5. To skip it and go on and check. And here, you see, it's going to give us 9. So that's the aspect of index and how to check next index. We have append, we have reverse. Reverse, like I said, you can use it to alter the way you arrange wherever you have here. So let's say an example of reverse. I will comment this out so that we can see our results. We have reverse now. We have reverse. So in reverse, we can just say upper list print upper list dot reverse. Can you see? It's suggesting for me. One good thing about ID is that it's going to suggest what you want. Can you see? Clear, extend, index, everything that we need. So I can click on reverse and let's see the results. So if I reverse it, can you see? It's giving me something. Upper list. Something is happening. Let me see what is happening here. I should be getting result there. I don't know if I make a mistake. No, then there's no mistake. There's no mistake. Upper list, yeah. Okay. This is the.
I think the close bracket.
No.
The one before the close bracket.
This one.
The open bracket before after the E.
No, it's going to throw me error.
Okay.
It's going to be error because that's, if you see the Python stuff here, when I pressed it, I pressed reverse. Can you see? Listen, let me do something here. Let's see, it's not going to work. So this is how it should be. I don't know why. It's giving me that error there. Let me run again. It's showing none, and it's very wrong. Okay, I don't know why it's giving that in there, having DE. So it's strange, but that's how it should be applied. That's how it should be applied. And so I'll check why the problem where we're having that, because we've got our list already, which is here. Oh, let me see. No, it's correct. I think there's an issue with the reverse. So, but anyway, and that one is not a problem. I will look into that or check why we have that. So we have reverse, we have append. Let's say in that particular list, we can decide to add a new grape, maybe a grape or whatever, or we want to add a new name to our list. Let's say, for example, we have, let me go to append. So we have new person joining us. Okay, so we have append now. Someone is joining now. So we can say, okay, in our list now, we have a new list. Let me delete this because we've got all this name here down below like this. Yeah? So let's say we have a new person now joining us. So I can do append. I can do print. Let me do print the upper list. Are we using upper list? Sorry. Oh, sorry. I can see the reason. Oh, it's correct. Upper list. Sorry, there's no reason. It's correct. So we have upper list. Then we can do append. Then can you see it's giving us self object? So press append. Then what do we want to append? Let's say we append Samuel. So let's say Samuel. Let's run this code now. Let's see what's going to happen. Somewhere been added? No. So it's giving me 0. Let me see. Okay, let me see what's happening. Okay. Open list, print open list. Print open list. Okay, we have our list. Right now, we still might be able to get back before the so we have so we have this. Let me see. I want to check where the problem is coming from. So we've applied 2 functions now, and it's not working. That's strange. So I'm coming 1 second. Oh, okay. Now I think I understand what's happening. Now let's go back. The issue is let's go back to the reverse. We are correct. So let's do the reverse. I think the problem is that I shouldn't have applied the print here. So let's go on. Then we do new print. Print open lists. So let's see. This is the result. This is going to be correct now. So let me align this one for reverse. I'm going back to reverse to correct it now. So let's print it now. You see, it's going to give me the result. So I made a mistake. I shouldn't have applied print earlier because the reverse is performing a particular operation. Then I can now print the result, just like we did for the del. Remember the del? I printed again. So now, so can you see the results? So yeah, it has reversed it. So it's starting from Ola to Jerry, because we are using reverse order. Okwe, Catherine, Lee, Damilona, and we are Bola. Bola is here. So now for this one, now let me align. Let's go to append now. So for the append, I will do the same thing for append. Append. So I want to append Samuel now. So I'll go to new line and print the result. So if I print open list now after appending, because you have appended this, you are appending Samuel into that list. So you now print it again. Then we can see Samuel inside. Can you see? Samuel is added. So that was the mistake I made. I shouldn't have added print immediately. So now we've gotten the idea of print. We have sort also. Sort, you apply the same sorts. So I will align this so that we won't run the result and run the code. So I can do sort now. So in the case of sort, I have open list dot sort. So inside sort, can you see you can apply reverse? So but let's say we are sorting now. Sort. So let's run it. So I'm not going to run. Let me do print now. Print open list. Pass it in. Run it. Let's see our result. Can you see? So it's sorting it, and it's sorting it for us in what? Alphabetical order. That's Bola, Catherine, Dami, Jerry, Lee. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H until it gets to O. So O is can you see OL? OL, my OL is before OP. LMNOP. So I see OP. So it's going to arrange it in this order. So in this case, let's say you have a data, where you want to track, you ask somebody like a customer, can you tell me your name? Oh, my name is Ade. You know where Ade is? A. Where A is starting. Oh, my name is Okwe. You know that, oh, you have to go to the bottom of the file to see if there is Okwe there. So that's how you arrange it. You use that one. You use sort to do that. So that's that aspect. I think we are clear about that. And we have arrays. There's some aspects I would know. I can cover this one for you, but I don't want to. Yeah, let's cover it. Let's cover the array aspects. So now in the array, already we are familiar with matrix in mathematics. How it works when it comes to mathematics. Matrix, you have 2 diagonal matrix, 3 diagonal, 3 by 2, 1 by 2, and the rest. So we are familiar with that. So, so in this aspect of matrix, we have this matrix, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like 5 by 4. 5 by 4 matrix. So we can see how it appears. That means we have the horizontal, we have the vertical. So 5 by 4, I want to print the result. Can you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and it appears in how many places? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's by 5 by 4. So here you want to grab the in this matrix, we want to grab the first let me see an example here. Let me see. So we have, where's 30? We have 30 here. Can you see? So we want to grab the first index and also check the position along the y-axis. So for example, this is the 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. So we're checking them by position. We're grabbing the first one. We're checking for index 1, and we're looking through the index, the position in that list. So it's looking at this one as index 1 now. And that's where, it's looking at this one as index 1. That means it's saying, this is a list. It's like we have a list inside a list. If it makes sense, I think. Now, let's say, here now, this is like a list. Let me give an example. I don't know how to explain. Let me see if I can copy. No, it's not going to copy it. Sorry. So let's see. Let me see. This is Jerry. Okay. Okay. Let's say, for example, we have A. In this A, we have brackets. We have another bracket. We have another list. We have another list. So this is the list. Let's say 1, 2, 3. We have another list. 3, 4, 5. We have another list. 5, 0, 2. Can you see in this list? S is a list, and inside that list we have 3 lists, 3 different lists. Can you see? So what this one is trying to do is trying to say, okay, let's represent this particular first list as S equals to B. Let's say it's A. Then we have second list as B, second list as C. So this list is saying our A is representing this. Our B is equal to this. Our C is this. So can you see? So if we consider our A as this, our B as this, our C as this, that means we have this new list, which is A, B, C, and which shows another index. So like, okay, for example, in here now, in this list now, our index 0 is 1. But when you go to deep down inside the main list, our index 0 is A. So let's say, for example, we want to grab a data from considering this, we'll go to X. Then we are going to check what? Index 0 of this, which is A. So if I pass in this index 0 here now, I'm looking for A. So when I look for A, that means I'm grabbing A here, which is the index 0. You know this index 0, 1, 2, the index we did. 1, 2. Then when I do that, that means I want to grab any inside the data inside there. So I will now go and loop through this one again and say, what index? Let's say I want to grab 3. Index 0, 1, 2. 1, 2. So I can pass it to here. Does that make sense?
I think, can you just take us through again there?
Okay. For example, the matrix. You know, I told you about matrix. This is like 3 by 3 matrix now. So if I want to rearrange this one, it's like we're having this, just like this. You understand? 3 by 3, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you look at this by horizontal and vertical, we have, we have this horizontal. And if we want to go vertical, that's 3, 5, 2. So 3 by 3, this is 3 by 3 matrix in mathematics. 3 by 3 matrix. So, so now that's that. So now what I'm trying to say is that in this matrix, we can get a list from this particular list. So in this list now, in this particular list, we have a list inside the list. This is a list. You remember this bracket is a list. We have another list. We have another list. Let's say, to make it simpler, I try to pick this first list as elements. Are you getting it? So I'm making this list. I'm trying to grab them one after the other. 1, 2, 3, A. Second one, this another list. I pass it as this, as B. The third one, 502, I pass it as 6. To have like a normal list that we are used to. Remember, A is a new list now. It has elements. We have elements in this list. We have elements, and the element is what we have here. So in this A, in this X now, we are now have a new A, B, and C. Let's say, for example, we want to grab the value in 5 here from this matrix. So what we are going to do is that we can say that this is first element. No, this is the first index because it's a list. So we first classify the whole list here, the first list as index. So which is 0. And if we want to grab this 5, it's going to be 1. So I can say 1 here now. Let's say I want to grab 5. I want to grab 5 from here. Okay, let me type grab get 5 from X. So I want to grab this 5, not the other 5. I want to grab this 5. So I can do 5. So I will change it now. So I will look at this one. We have the first list, we have second list, we have third list. And in this first list, you remember is A, this. I've changed it here. So, and where do we have 5 here? I want to grab this 5 from this second. So 5 is where? Here. We want to grab it from here. So, and what's the position of B? B is index 1, so I can pass in 1 here. So now, I've gotten to B now. Inside the B that I'm in, because I've passed in index 1, I want to know where the position of 5. That's 0, 1, 2. So I'll pass in 2. So in this case, let me align this one now. Let me align this. Let's see our results. Come in. See. Oh, okay. Let me align this. Okay, let me take this off. It doesn't matter. Don't need them. So let's see the results. Okay, it's giving me. Okay. Showing me one head or something. Okay, it's giving me one.
You need to print it.
Oh yeah. No, thank you. Let me see. Print. That's where the problem comes from. Okay, thank you. So okay, it's not giving me the result. I think there is a problem somewhere. Let me go back here. So we have this list. That's it. It's correct. It's fine. So I don't know why it's giving me that error. Because we have a list in the list. So it's fine, it's correct. It's saying, okay. Oh, okay, I've seen the error, comma. Okay, so can you see? Can you see now? We're able to get 5. So it's the comma that is the problem. So now, look at this. We want to grab this 5. We check through. I've commented this out. But I want you to view it as we have this one as a list, and the name of the list is A. This one as a list, the name of the list is B. This one as a list, the name of the list is C. So that's where we have this A, B, C. So we want to grab this 5. That means we want to grab 5 from this B. So B in this position is 1. 1. And in this 5, in this B, 5 is in position of what? Element 3, right? Third element, which is the second, the index 2, 0, 1, 2. And that's where we pass this. Is that clear? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Thank you. Okay, so it's more easier. That's why I try to split it so that to make it more simpler. That's why I try to break it down with this. So let's go back to what we have here. So in this one now, we've done this one, I'll be able to do. So let's say an example, 30. Let's say this A, B, C, D, isn't it? So we want to grab from this one, it's going to be 1, which is B, B1. Inside the B, we have a list 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. And that's what we have for here. So here we have 1, index 1. We are grabbing from this one, which is A, B, C, D. So from A, we want to grab the whole A. We want to grab this first index, second index, because it's 1 here. If you see 1, this 0, this is like 0, 0, and this is 1. So 1, we want to grab 1, 0, 2, 4, 3. And remember, it's not specified what we want to get from it. So we are selecting everything. Remember this sign. This sign in our list grab everything. If you remember this sign. It grabs everything in the list. And that's where it's grabbing. If you go back here, you will see that it's grabbing everything without excluding. So after checking the first index, which is second index, checking through the second, I would say, index, second element, which is index 1, like this, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and we are putting this sign, which means pick everything there. That is why we have this.
Hello, sir. So the colon, the colon on Python is the same thing as a star in SQL, because select star will grab everything. So
yes.
over here, print column will grab everything.
Yes, but we need to be very careful when it comes to Python. You understand? But you have to understand where it's applicable, because sometimes you can all this. We already know in Python. In Python, you do in SQL you do select, and you can decide to do select all. You can also do the same thing in Python. You can use selector. That's why I said depending on how you are applying stuff, we have to be very careful. But here we are trying to work on slicing, indexing, filtering, grabbing some values that we need, in data. That is what we are doing here. But when it comes to selecting columns, in that case of SQL, you are selecting columns. You can decide to say select all, or you specify the column that you need. You want to select. But in Python, also in pandas, we are going to go there, pandas and Spark. You can do normal select. You can select columns and you can decide, but you don't apply like select all like we have in SQL. You understand? So, but in this case, we are just trying to see how we can manipulate data. We have series of data, but we want to know how to get something out of it. And that's the tricky part of data engineering. So you are looking at the data, you want to say, okay, this particular part, how can I grab it? How can I use it to create a new column? Because we need it. You see an example along the way where we are applying lengths, where we are applying string and the rest. You see how it's applicable. I'll say, oh, okay, this is the reason why we are doing this. So majorly all these things are actually used for data manipulation, So you want to manipulate data and data transformation and manipulation. So like unstructured data, you are looking at, okay, this is what your stakeholders want. This is how they want the data to appear, and you'll be looking at, okay, what style should I use? What kind of method should I use to extract what they need from the data? And that's what we're trying to apply. But this is the basic part. It's just to understand the concept, why we are doing this, and when it comes to the real data, how we are going to apply it. Am I clear? Okay. So we've covered that. We've got tuple. Well, we spend more time on that list today. So we have tuples that are similar to lists, like you can see, except tuples they are immutable. Immutable means you can't take anything from it. You can't edit it. You know, the way we are doing appending, all those stuff, we can't. But if there is a way in tuples, you work on the tuple, but you have to convert it to list. You convert your tuples to list. And to signify tuples, whenever you see this bracket, you see the difference. We have these brackets. We have the other one, we have it in square brackets. You see the difference. So that's what makes tuple and list to be different. So tuple is immutable. They are immutable. They are similar to list, but one thing is that you can't edit what you have there. For you to edit, you know, the way we are doing appending, all those stuff, you can't do it when you're working on tuples. So what you have to do is that convert it to list. When you convert it to list, you'll be able to amend wherever we have there. So that's the aspects, and I'll make sure I get the video across to you so that you can go back to it, and please get your hands dirty, use the IDE, try it. If you make a mistake, can you see I made some mistake along the way? I like this aspect. I didn't have comma. I was able to figure it out. It was even highlighted, because normally the system will show you that there's an error and you'll be able to trace it, but it wasn't showing. So when I ran the code, I got an error. So that's how to figure out things out. Please don't rely on the training only, as in the way we're doing it. Please get the IDE, get it ready, just get your hands dirty, type something, make some mistake, go back to the mistake, correct yourself. And that's how you can learn very, very fast. Before you know it, within a short period, you are, on the track. So we have tuples, like I said, and we can see an example here. So I will just explain a few things. Like tuples, we have this one, physics, 15, math, this. And we have, so we can print what we have there. This is the results. And we have these other aspects. So it's still printing result like we've been doing, like a list. So here, can you see inside our tuple, we have another list. We have list inside. So in this case, you can, let's say you want to grab this particular list now, you can convert this back, convert this back to list and grab this particular list, just like we did in the matrix. So here you can check the position of this, and let's say 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 3 now. So 3, let's say you want to select 10, you can also 3, 2. So let me see if I can meet up, write this example, or let me explain this one. So look at what is happening here. We have an example here. We have, so here we have tuple2. We have tuple2 is this. You can see it here. Tuple2 is this. Now it's being converted to list by passing LIS to list, and we are able to get this. Let me see if I can just quickly use the ID to, explain the main one, this particular one also. So let me highlight what we have here so that I won't get any error. Okay, so we have tuple2. Can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Okay. Now, let me type tup2 like we have tup2 equals to, like I said, this is what you use for tuple. You know, in our list, we use this. List is this. But in tuple, we use this. We use this. So let's say I'm typing 10. We have 10, 2. We have 5.5. We have 4. We have -2. So here, let's say print. So now I think I'm okay with that. So I can now do print this. Let's print the result. Can you see? So this is a tuple. So let me see. To type. So I want to check the type. Can you see what it's giving us? So it's saying class what? Tuple. So you can check the type by typing, putting this one, print type. You put type in front of what you want to get. You want to identify if it's a list or if it's a tuple. So here now we can convert this tuple to list. So I can decide to say list. Can you see? Let's print it now. Let's see our result. Can you see it's been converted? Can you see the bracket now is changed? So now in this list now, you can decide to edit. So I can decide to say, okay, this list, I want to create a new, I want to give it a name, variable name, new tup2 equals to this. So equals to, let's give it the error. Okay, sorry, this is the reason. So now I can print the new one now because we have converted it to list. Print new tuple, because we have converted, we've used this one, list. Remember, it's not capital, it's not starting, it's all lowercase, so it's a function. So this function is a Python function that is converting. So you remember we've treated list. So now if we print it now, we are getting it as list. So this one we can do type, you can check the type. If it's list, then we do this type. Then let's print it. It's going to tell us if it's a list. Can you see class list? That means it's a list by using type. So type helps you to check if it's a list or not. So we've done that. So we now have a new something, which is what? This. So here, this tuple now, you can decide to grab what elements, 0, 1, 2, 3. Or you can append. You know, remember append, our append. Let's do our append now. We won't do the same mistake that we did. Let's say we want to append something inside it now. Append, maybe we want to append 100. So I can do new print new tuple2. Let's see the results. If 100 is appended, can you see 100 is appended? So this print, we can convert it back to what? We can convert it to tuple now, which is now immutable. Can you see? It's converted. So if we check the type of what we have done, let's check the type. Put the brackets here. Can you see the red sign is gone? So let's see. Can you see type tuple? That means we've successfully, after appending, you remember I told you, you can't edit anything in tuple until you convert it to list. And what we did here is that it was in tuple here. We converted it to list. After converting it to list, we're able to, because it's immutable, we are able to add 100. And after adding 100, and we're able to check the type list. We're able to do it successfully, adding 100. So we converted it back to tuple here. So I can now do, so now I've converted it to tuple. Now let's say new, I'll call it new. So I've successfully created a new tuple, which is new. And if I print it out, I'll grab a new tuple with 100. Initially, it doesn't have 100, but because it's immutable, we have to use list to convert it and append. I appended 100 and I converted back to tuple, and I was able to get this result. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that aspect. I think we've covered that. So can you see is list is mutable, why tuple is what? Immutable. And for us to edit anything now in tuple, what do? We convert it back to what? List.
We
Then append wherever you can do reverse sort, then you now convert it back to tuple. I think we are going to end the class here today. We're going to end it here, then we'll continue with dictionary next week, Sunday. Do we have any question? Let me pause. Let me stop recording. Stop recording now.